Beating Alzheimer's speech. Alzheimer's is a disease that runs in my family and something I'm very passionate about finding a cure for. I recently lost both of my grandparents to the disease and since have been studying about it. Throughout my presentation, I will be explaining what Alzheimer's is, the signs and symptoms, the stages, the diagnosis, and the treatment. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia that causes problems with memory, thinking, and the way you behave. Alzheimer's is a slow-killing disease. Symptoms usually develop slowly and worsen as time passes and gets worse over time, and is severe enough to interfere with your everyday activities. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia and accounts for 60 to 80% of dementia cases. According to www.alz.org, Alzheimer's has several early symptoms that you can detect if you believe your loved one is developing the disease. Number 1, the most common to detect, memory loss that disrupts daily life. Others include forgetting important dates or events, asking for the same information over and over, or you noticing them increasingly needing to rely on memory aids. Number 2, having a difficult time completing familiar tasks at home or work. People with Alzheimer's often find it hard to complete daily tasks. Sometimes people may have trouble driving to a familiar location, remembering their loved one's name, or various other things. Number 3, trouble understanding visual images. They may have difficulty reading, judging distance, and determining color or contrast, which could potentially cause problems with driving. Number 4, misplacing things and not remembering where they have been. A person with Alzheimer's may put things in unusual places and have a difficult time remembering where they were last. Number 5, the most common, mood changes. The mood and personalities of people with Alzheimer's can change. They may be easily upset at home, at work, with friends, or in places they are out of their comfort zone. Alzheimer's is a 7-stage process. Not everyone will experience every stage, and the rate of change is different in everyone. In the first stage of change, you will not experience any memory problems, which is why the disease is very hard to detect in the first stages. In the second stage, the person may feel if he or she is forgetting things more than often. In the third stage, family and friends will begin to recognize the person forgetting things. Sometimes medical professionals are able to detect the disease in this stage. In the fourth stage, the person is hardly remembering anything at all. This is the most common stage where detection takes place. In the fifth stage, the memory continues worsening and individuals begin needing help in day-to-day activities. In the sixth stage, personality changes begin occurring and individuals can no longer participate in daily activities at all. In the seventh, worst, and final stage, individuals begin losing the ability to respond to the outside world, hold a conversation, chew and swallow, and eventually lose the ability to control movement. There is currently no test that can detect Alzheimer's. In diagnosing Alzheimer's disease, you will go through several medical evaluations including a thorough medical history, mental status testing, a physical and neurological exam, blood test, and brain imaging to rule out other causes of dementia-like symptoms. Although there is not an actual test to detect Alzheimer's at this time, there are studies being done to detect the disease, know the cause, and catch it at an earlier stage. currently no treatments for Alzheimer's, but there are several different precautions you can take to prolong the process of the disease, such as exercising, a healthy diet, memory stimulation, coconut oil, or coconut oil pills. Alzheimer's disease is a very serious disease that is not often talked about. If you suspect your loved one is developing the disease, take them for a medical evaluation and begin following some of the precautions.